the street, now I'm bored. Finding myself as I'm walking alone and I'm grinding alone on the road. That's how you know you got old. I swear my mama be bold. She told me, my daughter, that life could be messy and sometimes you have to be cold. Ona unaribu masaa, kule unaenda ni far. Wewe my daughter ni star, wewe Vanessa ni star, wewe my daughter ni star. Used to crack up the street, now I'm bored. Finding myself as I'm walking alone and I'm grinding alone on the road. That's how you know you got old. I swear my mama be bold. She told me, my daughter, that life could be messy and sometimes you have to be cold. Ona unaribu masaa, kule unaenda ni far. Wewe my daughter ni star, wewe Vanessa ni star, wewe my daughter ni star. You can count on my ass and my galley, telling you wonderful stories of Galilee. Where you go, you are family. That's why my love could be silly. This is the kind to end happily. Ona unaribu masaa, kule unaenda ni far. Wewe my daughter ni star, wewe Vanessa ni star, wewe my daughter ni star. Don't you know the game is long? I wanna fight. Hold my hand and look me deep, it's gonna go right. Pretty faces watching you, don't lose sight. We might have found the light. Sasa mbona unaribu masaa, kule unaenda ni far. Wewe my daughter ni star, wewe Vanessa ni star, wewe my daughter ni star.
Yes, karibuni sana. Good afternoon. That is Vanessa playing right here in the middle of the 21st century. Hope you guys are doing amazing. The name of the jam is Star, and I really do love. She used to go by the name Cartoon Comedian back then, and then she changed her name after becoming a mother and being married to a Nigerian who wasted her life and her career literally. And she ended up becoming an artist, from comedy to artist. And I do love the fact that we say we women, you know, I've had someone say that we women, we can always change our career anytime. We can actually multitask, you know, you can be doing this, you can be doing something different. It depends what you like. But karibuni sana to another beautiful conversation of the Pan-African Bliss. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. It's exactly 46 minutes past the top of the hour, and I hope your week has been fantastic. Mine has been great. I can't complain. Ready for the weekend, literally super ready for the weekend. So much in store, and I can't wait to just live through it and see you guys on Monday. But being here, of course, in this particular time, this is the Pan-African Bliss, and of course my name is Joby. 46 minutes past the top of the hour, and today we're going to be talking about will South Africa manage to convince other African countries after this xenophobic behavior? Because this conversation is coming from a lot that is currently happening between talks from South Africa and other African countries. The trending topic currently is Tyler. Tyler has been cancelled in Nigeria, and she's been forced to actually cancel her tour. That is in Lagos, Nigeria. So we're going to be discussing about that, because Nigerians actually have a different opinion when it comes to South Africans visiting their country. And I do believe it's valid, you know, because we've not seen any, apart from Nasty C, I've not seen any other South African artist who has come out bold to talk about what is happening, to talk about these current situations about the xenophobic attack, including also the South African president himself. We were talking about that yesterday on the reaction time, and we said, I do believe this is actually a big issue because the fact that the president himself is not acknowledging what has happened in the country and even issuing an apology to the other African people, then it's a very, very big problem. So you trying to take your shows or anything in other countries that have actually directly been affected by these xenophobic attacks, it's not going to work. So we're going to be talking about this. And I didn't know, and I don't know how many of you knew that actually South Africa is one of the major traded country. I'd say one of the, how do I put it? One of the major traded with country with other African countries. I don't know how many of you do actually knew that. I didn't know that actually South Africa is the African country that trades the most with other African nations. So, of course, with what is happening currently, last week we also saw, that was last week on Monday, we saw Ramaphosa also saying that, other African countries need to be careful and look at this issue of, not wanting to work together. So we're going to be looking at that and see, actually, I didn't know this. And I discovered this as I was doing the research on the conversations, and I had to go look deeper into Google. And it confirmed to me that, yes, actually, South Africa is one of the most traded with, or the country that trades majorly with other African countries. So we're going to be looking at that as our conversation for today. But as we come back after a short break of our supplements that you can find under our application, we're going to be discussing also how Ghana, the government itself, is backing to actually extend presidential term limits from 4 to 5 years. So far, this comes after a move we've seen being made by major other African countries, like we've seen that is Zimbabwe. Yeah, I think that is Zimbabwe. We've also seen, what is Zimbabwe or Zambia? I gotta confirm that very quickly. I don't want to give false information. But we've seen many countries currently pushing that presidential term limit, which actually is a very, very big problem. Because when you look at the country's performance and the extension of presidential term limits, it's not matching, it's not balancing. So that is something we're going to be discussing about. Part of our conversation is also how Burkina Faso media regulator has fined one, that is Canal Plus, over the free access of the state TV. We know that Burkina Faso has literally, when they took over, that is the current regime, the current President Ibrahim Traore, when he took over, he changed a lot of things, including even media reports, kicking away France and the rest who were always, reporting false reports or false information about what is happening in the continent. It's still happening through the other medias, but Burkina Faso currently is fully in control of its media and the information that comes out of the country, apart from what we can see other mainstream medias are trying to actually pose or put in the country. So yes, Karibuni, those are our top conversation for today, and I hope you guys stick with me till the end of the conversation. But with that being said, remember to stay healthy. We have amazing supplements that you can grab under our application, our app. I don't know why I keep saying application. Under our app, Blackout Fire Network is the name with the fire logo sign. And of course, in case you're using an iPhone or rather a laptop to stream with us, you can literally do that nice and easy using our website link, www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. Remember, you can also support us through our Cash App is streaming down below. That is the $ Mr. Blackout Fire Network. Rather through the app itself, the last page, we have a donation page where you can send money through Cash App or any means that you're going to find right there. And we do appreciate your support now and then. But for these conversations, I always say brain and focus is very, very important, because critical thinking has been lost within our countries, communities, and societies. But brain and focus
Unlock
helps
your full
you
potential
keep your
with
focus.
Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, Fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the sports and nutrition store.
Affordable price. Now, as we get started with today's conversation, we're going to start with something very just interesting and educative. We talk about some African artifacts that have been lost, stolen, and still some that are still existing. When you talk about especially the mask you're looking at here, I believe countries like Togo, countries like Ghana, majorly the West African countries, there's still some that embrace this culture of wearing these African traditional masks. Being honest, I really don't know what they really mean, but I do remember, I think I can pull a video so you can look at actually what they really mean. The last time I shared a video similar to people who are wearing these masks was about the history of Togo. Was it Togo? It was Togo, actually. I remember, I think it was Togo, where we saw there was still some African cultural practices that are still being done, and very spiritual, number one, very just, not just African tradition, but very spiritual, and which we saw many of the white people, again, especially those who are there, contaminate, as always, witchcraft and all that. So I'm going to be discussing just a few bits about this, just to educate you where most of these marks actually are located, or where most of them originate from. And it doesn't contain actually the meaning. I wish they actually did put the meaning about them. But again, looking at today's age, and when you're talking about this ancient knowledge, or this ancient craft, I'm going to call it Asian because I don't see anyone doing it till to date. We might be having them, but there are very few to find. Very few to find. That is just the truth. It's like, lost treasures that are still existing somewhere, but very hard to tap into. So yes, we're going to be looking at just a bit of this. Some of the, this is Africa. Africa is home to countries, cultures, each with its own history, art, and traditions. Traditions masks are among the continent's most recognizable cultural creations, with many being used in ceremonies, storytelling, festivals, and other cultural practices through history. And this post is simply an educational look at some of the most well-known traditional masks associated with different African countries and the people. So let's take a look at this. Let me just zoom my screen for you guys so you can see clearly what we are discussing about. Let me see how I can do it. Okay. So we have the first one. I can't do it further than that. We have the first one, which is called the Mwanapo. And when you talk about, as I pronounce even some of these names, again, this is why we understand Africa, we're the same people, because Mwana is a child, is a term used to describe a child or a baby. Mwana, a baby. When it comes to, that is with the Kamba, actually. That is with the Kamba. Then when you go to the Luya side, the western parts of Kenya, Mwana is used as an exclamation, like, it's like, how do I say it? Mwana, how do I say it? It's like you're reacting to something. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, exactly. It's like Mwana. Yeah, it's like Mwana. There's how the Luyas use it, because my dad coming, of course, his mom being a Luya, I know some of the terms. Another one, I'm not really sure. Mwana. Also in Swahili, I think it also applies in Swahili too. Yeah, it does apply in Swahili. So again, this is where you're taught, or we understand, African people, we once shared one language, or we share common language. How do I say it? Actually, one language or common language. So yeah, we have the Mwanapo, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Shout out to the Angolans who are gonna be listening to this, or rather catching this. Of course, Keith being an Angolan, you should understand this. But yes, this is from Angola. That is the first one you can see. This is the first one. And then the second one, we have the Zambeto, which is actually originating from Benin. This is the mask you can see here. I wish actually they had deeper meanings, but I'm so interested to learn so much about this. I'll do more research and present it to you guys. We also have the Nwantatai. And understanding some languages, NW, the N is always silent. So maybe I should pronounce it Wantatai, not Nwantatai. I should pronounce it maybe Wantatai. This is from Burkina Faso. This is one of the traditional masks from Burkina Faso. The third one you can see here on your screen. And then we have the fourth one. Can I say that name correctly? Banileke, which is a structural, it's like a structure from an elephant. It's like an elephant, you know, it looks like an elephant structure. It originates from Cameroon. We have the Pele Pele. This is KPLE, where I believe the K is silent, so you pronounce it Pele Pele. This is from Cote d'Ivoire. The fourth one, which you can see here, this is from Cote d'Ivoire. And then we have Kifwebe. Kifwebe from DRC Congo. This is the one which you can see right here. And then we have Fangi from Gabon. We have Bedu from Ghana. We have Nimba, which is Ndimba, as pronounced maybe in other words, from Guinea. We have from Guinea-Bissau Vakaboruto, which looks like a cow, and also it has a nose like a beak of a duck or something. And then we have also, let me see if I can zoom it clearly. I don't know if I can do this. Zoom it clear. Okay. Then we have this one. This should be the 9th one. We have Dan from Liberia. We have Shadzunda from Malawi. This looks actually cute. I like this one personally. I like this one. So it's so cute. It looks like an African grandfather. I do believe this actually should be for storytelling. I'm assuming this would be used for storytelling. I don't know. And then we have Kananga from Mali. We have Mapiko. Mapiko in Swahili means cooking. You see how we share words, how we share languages, or how we borrow languages from each other? Because Mapiko in Swahili means cooking going on. You know, this is from Mozambique. And then we have Gelede. This is from Nigeria. Gelede. I think I should pronounce it the Nigerian way. Gelede. And then we have, let me read the last ones. We have Kidumu. Kidumu is from DRC Congo. Kidumu. Kidumu. I don't know how to translate that directly to you guys, but it's a Swahili term too. And then we have Kumpo from Senegal. We have Sowa from Sierra Leone. We have Kwere ancestors. So when we're being called Kwere by South Africans, it's not a new term. It's a word that actually exists, but now from ancient traditional masks that were very spiritual and very cultural. So yeah, this is from Tanzania, which is called the Kwere ancestors. From Tanzania, this one. And then we have the last one, Makishi from Zambia. So yes, those are actually some of the amazing traditional. I'm willing to learn so much about this personally. If there's something I'd pour my time into, is traditional education, cultural education, and of course it comes with spiritual education. So I'm more interested to know about the spiritual story about it, or the side about it, because I want to understand how they use this mask spiritually and for which performance, you know, because as we can see, some are for storytelling, some are for dances, some are for healing, it depends. So just to take you just a little bit, let's look at Togo. I think it was Togo the last time I shared this type of video. Let's look at Togo. Togo, Kweli. Let's look from this. Let's see from this one, because they have not mentioned Togo. So let's look at, I'm interested in let's look at Chadzunda from Malawi. But the last time I did, the one I did was from Togo. So I'm interested in, let me do the Togo one. Let's see, Togo traditional masks and their use. Let's see if we can find something a little bit similar. Okay, let me share this. Maybe from the shots we see if we can learn something. Okay, so this is just a compilation of many masks from Africa. Let's see. I don't like this guy because Zulu somehow lying. Mask in their mystery.
Hi everyone, Blind Dweller here. Happy New Year to you all. The subject for today's video is
No,
a
I don't
little
want a white person explaining. I'm sorry. Let's look at this one very quick. Let's look at this one. I don't want a white person explaining.
African masks are more than just art. They hold deep meaning. They are a vital part.
Still, that is a white person explaining. And this is the problem. That's the problem I have. Africans, we've lost so much knowledge to the point not so many Africans can actually explain these masks, their uses, and how important they are to us as African people, and why we need to keep on preserving them or using them. Because today, being honest, if you can't find this in an African's home, you're gonna be called a witch. That is just the truth. If you find this kind of masks in anyone's house, number one, of course, you're gonna look at them weird. Even me, I'm not gonna even lie. As much as I am learning and I know all this, it's like, But when you go to the museums, like in Tanzania, the last time I went to one of the museums, it contains actually all these masks, and all the history, of course, is written there. Leave alone the museum where we went to see the houses, how the wives, the husbands lived, and all that. There's another museum we went, me, Katie, and Nish, that actually contained all these kind of masks that were explaining some of its uses, and even the arrows. It had so many traditional information, because I do believe also some Tanzanians, the Tanganyika people to be specific, they did preserve a lot of history and culture. Until today, it's very well explained even in books and history. But let's look at this. The problem, again, when you go to an African home, this is witchcraft. As much as it's very spiritual, it's crazy.
African culture and history. Each mask tells a story. These stories are about spirits, ancestors, and beliefs. Masks are used in ceremonies and rituals.
See, white people.
They are powerful symbols. They connect people to the spiritual world. From intricate carvings to bold colors, African masks captivate the eye. They offer a glimpse into a world rich in tradition and symbolism. This essay explores the world of African masks. We will learn about their creation.
Yeah, I remember also in one of the markets in Tanzania, one of the markets that contains a lot of traditional attires, jewelries. There's one shop that actually had all this stuff. If you go back to our videos, you can find them on Odyssey. All our videos from all our shows, if you go to Odyssey, you'll find all our show. You'll find actually one of the videos which we went live and recorded this, because I stood there for a minute. I remember when we were doing the show live, I stood there for a minute looking at those masks, because they are very rare to see and find. Very, very rare to find them, especially in African homes. The way we hang the Jesus, the Jesus image everywhere, in our bedrooms, in our sitting room, in the toilet, you'll not find any of this.
Their meanings and their importance. African masks are made from various materials. Wood is the most common, but artists also use metal, fabric, feathers, and beads. The choice of material depends on the mask's purpose and the region it comes from. Each material adds a unique texture and feel to the mask. Creating a mask is a skilled craft. It is often passed down through generations. Artisans carve, shape, and decorate each mask with great care. They use traditional tools and techniques. This ensures that each mask is unique and meaningful. African masks are full of symbolism. Animals are common motifs. Each animal represents different qualities. For example, the lion often symbolizes strength and power. The antelope represents fertility and abundance. Masks can also depict human faces. These often represent ancestors or spirits. They can also express emotions or social status. Abstract designs are also common. These designs often represent spiritual concepts or ideas. Each symbol adds a layer of meaning to the mask. Mask makers hold a special place in African society. They are not just artists, they are seen as spiritual intermediaries. They connect the community to the spirit.
Crazy explaining African and showing us Chinese people. All right, sorry about that. I meant to click the other video to actually go back. But yes, it's crazy explaining the African history and showing us some Chinese people as if they know anything about this. I wish I could find, let me see if I can find something just short and simple explaining some of these Togolese, okay, that didn't live exactly Togo. Because I know Togo is one of the countries because the last time I shared some of the videos, they were very, very interesting. With an unbelievable collection of African masks. Okay, this one has a collection. That is amazing. Togo. Yeah, because you can see, yeah, Togo is one of the countries that has preserved most of these cultures. Let's look at this just a bit and then we continue.
In every corner of Africa, stories breathe, tales buried in dust, whispered through firelight. You're about to hear one of them. Welcome to African Horror Stories. Togo folklore. The mask. Leave.
Why is he saying it that way?
The village did not fear the dead. They respected them. That was the difference. Every year, when the dry wind rolled across the land and the dust settled into the cracks of the earth, the elders would announce the coming of the Egungun.
I don't know why he's saying it that way. Man, I can't find someone who's just talking and explaining this shit correctly. It's crazy. What African marks really mean? Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one just a bit.
Imagine walking into a dark hut in the middle of an African village. The only light is fire flickering against the walls. Then suddenly, someone steps out wearing a mask. The room shifts. People gasp. The atmosphere changes instantly.
No. You see, this is the problem. No, it never used to be like nobody was gasping. Nobody was being shocked by any of this because Africans ain't shit. You ain't shit too. Yeah. Come talking that crazy shit. You ain't shit too. Yeah, come correct. Africans ain't shit. You ain't shit too. Period. Period. If you don't like it, press the exit button or block button if you don't want to see none of this African conversation. Period. But as we move on. Yeah, nobody used to gasp because this was a norm in Africa. This was, wearing masks was a norm from our elders to, our young generations, because of course this has to be knowledge that is passed from generation to generation. You can't just get yourself into this kind of practices without you having proper knowledge. You can't. Proper knowledge. Because this is more than just a mask. This is very spiritual to Africans. So no gasping.
Now here's the real question. Do you think that mask is just for decoration? Or do you think it carries something deeper, something ancient? Because what if I told you African masks are not what most people think they are? Welcome to African Storytime with Rita, where we bring forgotten legends, folktales, and true Africans' mysteries back to life. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share for others to see. Most people believe masks are just cultural art. You hang them on your wall. Maybe tourists buy them as souvenirs. But in Africa, masks are alive. They're not just objects. They're like keys that unlock the world of spirits, ancestors, and even hidden truths about who we are as humans. Let me take you back for a moment. Picture the Dogon people of Mali. They have these towering masks, some stretching more than 10 feet.
Look at that. And it's beautiful. This is beautiful. You can't tell me anything about this. This is beautiful. Look at all that. This is so beautiful. Very beautiful. Saying African saying shit.
Hi. When the mask comes out during ceremonies, it's not seen as just a man wearing wood and paint. No, the people believe the mask transforms him into a messenger between the living and the spirit world. Imagine being in that crowd, watching something so huge and strange. The air itself is breathing with the ancestors. You wouldn't dare call it just art. But wait, there's a twist. Not every African mask is about spirits. Some are about power. Think of the Yoruba Gelede masks in Nigeria. They're colorful, sometimes even playful. But the message behind them? They honor women. Yes, women, especially older women, because in Yoruba tradition, women are believed to hold a mysterious spiritual force called Aje. And if you disrespect that, let's just say you're in trouble. So when the masks dance, it's not entertainment, it's a reminder. Respect women. Respect the balance of power.
Weird.
Doesn't that change how you see it?
Of course.
Now, here's where it gets even wilder. Some masks weren't for everyone's eyes. Among the Pende people of Congo, certain masks are so sacred that only initiates, young men going through rites of passage, can see them. To the outsiders, the masks are forbidden.
Remember the Congo one? We said it's called Kidumu, sorry. The Congo masks are called Kidumu.
Hidden away, sometimes even destroyed after ceremonies so they don't fall into the wrong hands. And yet, today, you see similar masks being sold in art galleries for millions. Do you see the contrast? What was once secret, spiritual, and powerful is now treated like a collectible.
It's white people. This is white people's bullshit. It's white people. And this is why actually Africans have lost all this information and knowledge about their history and who they are. Because white people came and stole everything we had. And they have the audacity of telling you, you need to take them as a loan. You need to loan back your stuff. What was stolen away from you, you need to loan it for a period amount of time. Like Ghana did last year, but one, they went and borrowed what once belonged to them. Are you kidding me? All this actually existed within our homes, our villages, and our kingdoms, to be specific. Our kingdoms. Because with the little knowledge I have, I bet from my past lives, because I've not experienced none of this, kingdoms, with these masks and the kingdoms, of course, existing, having the queens and the kings, the princesses and the prince, and of course the people, the kingdom used to unite the whole community, the whole village. And you'd find if there's something probably going wrong, which I do believe it's still being practiced, where there's a country where they use leaves if they want to catch a thief. And it's very spiritual and it works. So there's how, the elderly people, the elderly men or men who are spiritually guided and in tuned, they go to a certain place full of nature, and then if there's something that is claimed to be lost within the village, it's still very active today, actually. I think most of you must have seen it probably on TikTok. So they use some certain, not just leaves, it's a certain type of grass. And then they try combine it together. So you're supposed to pass by the grass. If the grass refuses to allow you pass, you're the thief. You've been caught. So when you talk about kingdoms as well, these masks is what we used to have. Again, spiritual guides, spiritual men and women who'd come and either do something for the kingdom, and the whole village is there. It used to be, it's a whole not just a coronation, but something else also going on. I don't have the full details and information, but these masks were used. They were used also in kingdoms. With the little information I have from my past lives.
Kind of makes you wonder, did we lose something in translation? Hold on though, because I know what you might be thinking. Okay, Rita, so masks are about spirits, ancestors, power, but why are they carved the way they are? With exaggerated noses, bulging eyes,
Exaggerated noses, it's African nose.
And all those dramatic features. Here's the answer. Those features aren't random. They're symbols. Big eyes? That means someone who can see beyond the physical world. A wide mouth? That represents the ability to speak wisdom, or sometimes to control. A fierce expression? That's not for style. That's meant to scare away evil or enemies. Every cut of the wood, every brush of paint is coded language. So next time you see one, you're not just looking at art, you're reading a message. But wait, let's talk about something most people never ask. What does it feel like to wear one? Because
I wonder. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I wonder how it feels to wear one. I really, really wonder. And I'm curious about it. The next time we're going to Tanzania, I'm going back to that to that market, because we always go to that market, me and Nish. We have to get some jewelries before we come back. Some traditional, some African, necklaces, earrings, bangles. They just look good. Some clothes, they just look fine. I'm curious. I'd love to go there. And then, I don't know if I want to try them on. Of course, there's nothing that's going to happen to me, but I'm so respectful of, I don't want to wear a mask and end up going crazy, because it has too much power over me.
wearing a mask wasn't just dress up. The moment a person put on that mask, they stopped being themselves. In the eyes of the community, they became ancestor, the spirit, or the force that mask represented. People wouldn't even call them by their real name anymore. Imagine that. You walk into a ceremony and your own mother wouldn't say, "That's my son." She'd say, "That's the ancestor who came to visit us." For those few hours, you become more than human. Gives you chills, right? And here's a mind bender. Some masks weren't just about rituals, they were about justice. In certain communities, masked figures acted as judges. They could appear at night, fully masked, and settle disputes. People listened because they didn't believe they were talking to another man. They believed the spirits themselves had spoken.
Exactly. I'm going to use a very good example of how they really fooled us, that these masks or these traditional things that we should be having in our house, instead of the Jesus frame in our houses, in our toilet, in our kitchen, everywhere you just go is the Jesus image with the blue eyes, blonde hair, and with the hands like this, and a bulb, some crazy stuff. What the Nigerian movies, now this is what they got us through Nollywood, because they used Nollywood to destroy the African spirituality completely, you guys. If you, I don't know, of course, maybe most of you might have not watched Nollywood, but if you go back, if you take your time and just go back to most of the movies that include witchcraft, these are some of the images that were being used when describing, or the witch in the movie is going to be using, And this is how actually it got into so many people's minds and destroyed so many people's mindset, that this is actually, when you see this kind of stuff in anyone's house, they must be a witch. If you see anything that is African, including the beads, or some beads, not just these beads like the ones I had in my hair, there's certain beads, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to the African artifacts. And they really used Nollywood to destroy this. Thinking about it, this is how they really destroyed the people's mindset completely. Because Nollywood actually also did promote a lot of now what we see today, the effect of bleaching. I always say Nollywood did that, the effect of bleaching, because it only showcased how, light-skinned women are going to get more opportunities than you being dark-skinned, and all that. Go back, you bleach, and you have all the opportunities. And that's how you can see all this culture of bleaching, how it trended in African countries. Nigeria was used again as a guinea pig to destroy Africans, not to educate, not to promote African culture or traditions, to destroy. Yup, Nollywood was used to destroy this image completely. Apart from the few we knew, they destroyed us now completely through that.
So imagine you're arguing with your neighbor about land, and then out of the darkness, a masked figure steps in. That's not a debate you're winning.
Now you see what she's saying. When you're arguing about land, a masked figure will come and settle the argument, right? But in Nigerian movies, when you're arguing about land, a witch comes and your land is gone. You see the difference? they're not talking about settling disputes. They're talking about destroy, completely take away your land now for real.
But here's where I want to leave you with a little cliffhanger. If masks are this powerful, able to connect people to the unseen, to command respect, to act as judges, what do you think happens when they're taken out of context? When they're sold, displayed, or treated as simple art? Do they lose their power?
It is the disrespect. It is, number one, disrespect of African traditions, culture. And of course, we're dealing with savages. Understand that the people we see on the screen right now, these are savages. Savages who don't understand anything even about themselves. And even if they do, it's still a bit. And they still don't want to accept the few information they have about themselves. Number one, like coming from animal genetics. Number two, having some melanin, a bit of melanin drop in them, because they come from the African lineage. Not directly, but yeah. You get me? We're dealing with savages who, again, they're telling you for you to access your own history, you have to learn your history. For you to try to learn and understand your history, you have to borrow your history. This is crazy. It is crazy. And this is the type of educations, again, I keep on saying every single day we need to be taught. Every day we're finding things that actually should have been included in our curriculums, not some Chinese language like Ghana.
Or do they still carry something invisible that we don't fully understand? I'll let you sit with that question, because African masks are not what you think they are. They're deeper, they're alive, and maybe, just maybe, they're still watching us. So the next time you see one, hanging on a wall or behind a glass case, ask yourself, is this just a piece of wood? Or is it something that once held the breath of 1,000 ancestors?
It held more than 1,000 ancestors. It was very, very amazing. So yes, that is coming from the context I just gave you, or literally as we looked at the traditional masks. For those who are just joining us, we checked a couple of them and where they come from. And allow me, I'm going to do my research fully so we can come back with full information and explained by Africans themselves, not a white person or an AI, telling us how important these masks were, what were they being used for, because understand some are for healing, like you've had, some are for judgment or justice, some are for ruling, including power, some are for people who are messengers. So I'd love, personally, I'm so interested and I want to invest my time on that research and see and learn what they really mean. Just in case I bump into them outside there, I know what I'm bumping into, not gasping my breath like she's saying, I'm not going to gasp my breath. But yes, as we move on from that conversation, we have more information coming from South Africa. And yes, South Africa is facing not only major backlash from still their xenophobic attack, but they are losing. But it's crazy because I'm failing to and trying to understand how and why they are losing. Of course, it's xenophobic attacks. But I was shocked, you guys, that South Africa is one of the major African countries trading with most of the African nations. I don't know how many of you knew this, but we learned together. Karibu sana Keith, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Y'all got a bad ear. Don't go all Queen of Zinga on me.
Okay.
All right. So, understand the mass situation. Africans are spiritual by nature, but you had a group of savages come in and tell you that your natural spirituality, because you're connected to the source, was evil. Because they're not melanated. And so you lost all your traditions. And shout out to you, Joe, people. Excuse me. Shout out to you for understanding, yes. Nollywood. Did I watch Nollywood movies? No, they're too horrible. But anyway, right? Oh my God, right? It's horrible. Shout out to you for understanding what Nollywood did to the psyche of Africans. Because that became the biggest medium in Africa. It was all anti-African. And that's what the Nigerians are. They bleach the most. They hate being black. They worship white people. Everything about African culture is bad. Everything about being black is bad. And they permeated that bullshit all throughout Africa because their minds were psychologically damaged. Some of the damaged people. So you just get mad with this. The African giant, man. Don't give me that African giant bullshit. People psychologically damaged. They hate being African. They hate African people. They love white people. They hate everything about being African. So you're right. That does so much damage because movies are mind control when you don't know what it is. And so that's why I think it's like 85% of Nigerian women bleach. You talk about the whole society fucked up. 85%, the whole society is fucked up. Women, whole society hate being black. Your country's fucked up. You ain't done nothing to stop this. 85% of women, Nigerian women, is like, I think it's 80. Skin bleach, 80%. That means, and destroy the woman, you destroy the civilization. They tell you goofy African men, civilization is based on women, not men. So if you destroy the woman mind, you destroy the damn people. So you got an African woman sitting in Nigeria, don't want to be African. Shit, that mask, you give her that mask job and she'll hit you in the head with that mask. What am I doing with this evil stuff, daddy? Why she got the skin bleach and still stuff on her face? What are you doing? Where is my white Jesus with the blue eyes and blonde and dog fur hair? What are you doing, God? That's how deep that shit goes, man. Africans, wow. They're trying to stone you there. You put one of them masks in somebody's house in Nigeria.
Yeah, Nollywood did a lot of damage, like in many angles, from this to the skin, to even it promoted a lot of bullshit with religion, a lot of bullshit with religion, a lot, that's when people were like, abandoning now what belongs to us and being told in this end of these movies, focus on Jesus, focus on God, for you to live a good life, focus on Jesus, focus on what? Dedicate your whole life to Jesus, it's crazy.
Why you
promoted a lot.
Yeah, why you ain't bullshit and you're living in filth and garbage?
That is what Capri was asking people yesterday at the barber shop. He cooked them up yesterday. I'm like, yeah, why are you living in poverty? You're living in poverty and still praying. Is praying paying your bills? Is praying helping you in any sort of way? You pray and die of hunger. It's crazy. But as we move away from that, I'm gonna do much more research and we're gonna do that whole conversation. I'm so interested in it too, to learn so much. Spiritual.
And the question, since you guys always talk about you Africans, some Africans asking the question. Let me cut you off, Joby. If praying so good, you're in poverty. The Chinese don't pray. Chinese don't believe in your fake Allah, your fake Jesus. Why are their buildings and cities modern and not living in filth and poverty like they used to? They didn't pray to Jesus. Damn sure didn't pray to no fucking Allah. Huh? So make it make sense. You pray. Everybody know African is the most praying continent, and y'all broke and poor. So make it make sense. But you can't think logically. You would think, okay, China doesn't pray. They're rich in us now. We borrow money from China, who used to get food from Africa. China used to literally get food from Africa to feed itself. But now they're the ones running around giving you loans, and you're the ones still praying. But you, like Joby said, you can't critically think. You can't critically think. And you tell me, well, Jesus, we're waiting on Jesus. We was evil. Evil. When did black people be evil and do anything to any other people? Oh, never. So that don't work. Can't use the evil shit. That don't work. What Africans invaded people and raped and burned and killed? Oh, none of them. So that don't work. But anyway, go ahead, Joe.
Exactly. But as we get into South Africa, we have a video that is circulating online about how the airport of South Africa is currently empty because people are not touring the country. And a man was recording the airport. They're saying that a South African man has expressed concerns over the noticeably quieter atmosphere at a local airport, linking it to the departure of many African foreigners, nationals from the country. The viral video of the South African man, identified in some reports as an airline or airport manager, massively deserted highlights a stark economic consequences of the country's recent anti-immigrant actions. He also expressed deep concerns that the lack of passenger traffic will trigger severe
Jobs.
job losses
Yeah.
and South Africa
Yeah.
citizens
You lose jobs.
revenue. Yeah, declines exactly. So this is what was happening in this video. Let me share it.
And no matter and no matter what Joby thinks, Tyler and Anna Piano's washed up on the continent.
Please, quiet. Please, quiet.
Damn.
Before. Hey.
Yeah, so that is what is happening. So these
See,
people
and you morons in South Africa forgot. You're not the only ones that got elephants and lions. Kenya got elephants and lions. Goddamn Tanzania, Mozambique. So they're just gonna go there. You're gonna lose that. You're gonna lose that tourism dollar to Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique, and other countries, and Zambia, and Zimbabwe. They got lions and elephants and all that shit.
yeah,
Too bad for you.
they should have known it is so sad when you do things without thinking about the consequences or long-term effect of it. That is the problem with us as
Exactly.
African people, you
True.
know.
True.
You do things, you know, due to anger and then
Short-term thinking. Yep. Emotional.
you have not understanding how this is going to affect you after doing this damage, because now we can see, of course, apart from Mama Piano being cancelled he wants that so bad, you know. He wants Mama Piano to be
No, I don't want to be. No, don't try to tell me. No, I don't. I said it's good. That's what's going to happen.
You do. Oh my God. But yes, Tyler has been called out because apparently, according to Nigerians, is that she has not openly talked about the xenophobic behavior or attacks that Nigerians face, Ghanaians, Malawians, and many Africans. So are having the audacity to actually put a tour on Nigeria as part of our tour. She was called out yesterday. So many people were saying that, you know, if we need someone with a miniskirt, we already have Ayara Star. Of course, you guys know Ayara Star. They were saying that if we need someone with a short miniskirt, we already have Ayara. We don't need no South Africans here with their disrespect. So this is what was happening.
I know that people actually cry because their loved ones have actually passed away due to police brutality, due to what has been going on there. So the conversation is not even about if she can come and perform or not. The conversation is about the emotions that we feel for what South Africans have actually done to Nigerians, and not just Nigerians, Ghanaians as well. So the sentiment is not that we're saying that, oh, we don't want Tyler to come and perform. We are saying that a lot of things have happened over there, and until things are right, this is not the right time to come and perform, because I don't see any Nigerians dancing to your music when our people are dying in your country. What is happening in South Africa?
Exactly. Which makes sense. Literally. Why should we be dancing to your music when our people are killed? It does make a lot of sense, and I do believe actually most of the celebrities will have to understand this from South Africa, because it's coming to you next. It's not just Tyler. We have DJs being
Nigerian is saying it was the Kenyans that said it first. Said her ass is canceled.
Yeah, because this is going to they should know. And as an artist, we were just discussing this yesterday, and Shwani was telling me that these people are taught PR, how to talk to the crowd or to the people when there's any certain issue. There's how you're taught how to make the situation balance to favor
Yeah,
you.
because,
You know?
because you're not trying to fuck your money up, Joe.
Exactly. But none of them, apart from just Nasty C, is the only person who I've heard him say. And it's after Tyler was cancelled in Nigeria. That's now we're seeing some of them coming up saying, "Oh, this should have been done in a better way. There should not be no killings."
Of course, too late now.
Happened.
It's called fake. It's called fake concern. You're only now concerned because now your money's fucked up. And sorry, her album already flopped. Her album flopped. Her new album is flopped. Sorry.
According to Nigerian, is that also Ayara Star's entry into South Africa for her concert was denied too. So why should Tyler?
Exactly. See, exactly. Tick for tack. Same energy. Exactly. I understand. We don't want your Nigerian ass singing your what was that song she had a couple years ago that was famous? Pressure, something. What's that song called? Yeah. No, not that time. That all you have a star. What's that song called, Joey?
Ayara has many songs, man. One of
I know the main one that made her famous 3 years ago. That main one, but she had that blonde hair. And she walked around a mansion.
I don't know. I know. Rush. You know, go Rush.
Rush. That's it. Rush. That one. That's the one that made her star international. That other shit didn't make her no star. That was that Rush. Rush. Yeah, that shit. She walked around that blonde platinum wig on her head. That one.
You know that right now she's been signed by Jay-Z, right? Ayara.
Oh.
Ayara.
Well, hey, Jay-Z's a bum. He's a sinking ship. You didn't sign on to the wrong Negro. He's not gonna make you Rihanna. His time is up.
Many people also saying, of course, they love the energy of Nigerians, and that also most of the companies that are in other African countries, like we saw Ugandans saying the MTN and the banks should go, is the same thing that actually should happen. So they're calling out MTN to be removed in their country and their banks as well. So, hey, South Africans, I don't know how you're going to convince other Africans to actually, you guys work together.
Gonna be a long time, Joby. They destroyed the image. It's gonna be a long time.
Going to take time. On the other hand, we have Nigeria and Ghana who are now jointly pushing South Africa for compensation over anti-migrant violence. So they're saying
South Africa already said, hell no, absolutely not.
Well, continue suffering then because they're saying Ghana has officially joined Nigeria in demanding financial compensation for from South Africa over properties, businesses, and assets destroyed during anti-migrant violence. The government is establishing a register of claims mirroring Nigerians' own documentations process launched earlier in July. At least two Ghanaian nationals have died in the recent attacks, with hundreds displaced, over 1,000 citizens being repatriated.
Hey, Joby, did you see that video? Did you see that video? When they was coming to get that lady's beauty salon, and she said, "I'd rather destroy it than give it to you bastards," and she destroyed it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, she tore down the mirrors and all that. I saw it. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she smashed all that shit. You dirty South Africans not getting that for free.
Sad. I looked at that. I'm like, it must be really painful. You ripping your own business that you used so much money to put up together, man. It's so sad.
I know, but of course, but they were going to take it, Joey. They were going to take it and make money from it and throw out the country. So I'd rather smash the shit up too.
The same Ghana is also pushing the African Union and ECOWAS, the wrong people, to take actions against xenophobia.
Yeah.
Like, the wrong people to actually ask about, unity in Africa. But they're also saying South Africa has condemned the violence but rejected blanket compensation, insisting claims
Exactly,
must
told
go
you.
through their legal system. This is crazy. Ramaphosa is really wrong, very, very wrong. And this is why you understand really dealing with very immature men as politicians. I'm not gonna call them leaders because they are not. You're supposed to be a man enough to actually figure out how you're gonna talk out this situation, but it's actually escalating the whole situation, and that's why people
They're
are
not.
mad.
They're not, Joe, because they wanted that to happen. Remember, Ramaphosa, Nelson Mandela, and the rest of the politics, like they failed the South Africans, Joby, because white people kept control of the country. And black people too stupid at that time to realize they know. Well, a lot of other ones who got ousted know Nelson Mandela was a puppet. He was never there to get any economics from black people. So black people stayed just as fucked up and sorry in South Africa from a time of apartheid. They never got any relief economically, Joby, in their country. So you got a few white people that have all the wealth in a black country, and none of these morons like a Ramaphosa, none of these presidents like a Zuma, a Nelson Mandela ever got the money back from white hands. The same way Zimbabwe finally did. Of course, the white world came after Zimbabwe. Now Zimbabwe said, we're going to give the land back to the white people because we've been hurting. But South African, because the South Africans, it was really bad under Nelson Mandela. You understand Nelson Mandela, traitor and sellout ass. He's worse than Jomo. Worse. Worse. So they never had even from the beginning of this fake ass supposedly independence in South Africa. It's all fake. Black people never own shit. Nobody was ever arrested or sent to jail for the murder and rape of African people in that country. Yeah, Nelson Mandela said, oh, we're all just gonna hug and forgive. So black people never got no justice, Joby. Remember, you black, you're not supposed to get justice. But it's concerning white people. You're supposed to hug them and say, okay, now they understand. They're gonna stop being evil. Of course they didn't. So now you're back at the place where you're back at the place where you're all uneducated, you got abject poverty, and then of course you're not able to critically think. You see a bunch of immigrants who come in and made something out of themselves, that's gonna make you angry. That's just the nature of human beings. How you dare come in my country? I can't do shit. I don't got nothing. I'm from here, and you've been able to do something? I want you out. So, and then also they're too scared of white people, so they're not gonna go against. Everybody seem always come on, oh white lady, you are part of us. The lady was just visiting South Africa, that German white lady. Oh white lady, you're part of us. So they also, like I said, it's the problem of the African mind. You worship your enemy. Shout out to Ibram, I've been said it. It's the sickness that you have, and it came because of that fucked up fake religion. Like Joby said, every picture on your wall is a white man with blue eyes who ain't never existed. Some made up shit. And that's in your fucking head. And that's what you worship. So you won't see when white people want to steal all your wealth, steal everything from you, and you won't do nothing about it because you're a coward. They're the ones eating good. Ain't no white people living in the slums. Ain't no white people running around beating up on no foreigners. They're the ones living good. Off your shit. So that's what you're dealing with. And this is a cowardly moron. Not only is he a moron, he's cowardly. Openly cowardly. Like, Trump, I'm not, there's no white genocide in my country. Yeah, listen, nigga, there's genocide in your country, nigga. Oh, wait, hold on, I got a white man here to explain himself. What? What? The cowardly of you African niggas, you are despicable. Shout out to Pretoria. He called you all cowards too. Said you African leaders, you're all cowards. You are. And you've hurt Africa as an image. All of you niggas are cowards. But that's who they put there. You cowardly niggas. Oh, and the other Africans, hey, you guys speak English. Yeah, yes, we do. You know, you colonized this cracker. You came and made us speak English. You speak English better than most you people do now. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, but we also heard, of course, the president himself saying that they were saying that South Africa is pushing African migration talks after the xenophobic violence. So it's crazy when we have Ghana, Nigeria trying to have talks about compensation, which you actually say no to, but you want us to have a conversation about how we should move forward. How we should move forward. You sound
And
crazy.
he also begged the Ghanaians not to kick out the white South African mining group. So I said, gotta get their ass out of here. We can mine our own gold.
Under police watch, holding banners and chanting, a few dozen anti-illegal immigration protesters marched through Belleville, an area with a significant Somali immigrant community in the city of Cape Town. Protesters handed the Home Affairs Department a petition.
I don't know. The Somalis are like the Nigerians. Them motherfuckers is everywhere. They're everywhere but in Somalia.
Without papers officially registered. On Thursday, Pretoria called for an Africa-wide conference to address migration on the continent after weeks of deadly anti-migrant violence and tensions. The meeting would revisit a decade-old African Union decision to tackle migration as an issue of economic development, regional integration, peace and governance, South Africa's foreign ministry said. It will also address the root causes of anti-migrant sentiment and develop a continent-wide response to xenophobia, discrimination, and violence. South Africa, the continent's wealthiest nation, has long been a magnet for migrants.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I was up to my shock is that I didn't know that actually, like I said earlier, that South Africa is the African country that trades the most with other African nations, counting for roughly 30%.
You know that? That's because of white people. Yeah, it's the wealthiest nation because white people are always gonna make sure they get their money from you niggas, Joby. You insane? Not you other Africans. White people gonna make sure they will get their money from you niggas. That's why South Africa, even though it's all messed up, it's still the wealthiest country in Africa. Still.
Listen to
if we get isolated by Africa, what don't? Yes. I mean, if you go to any region and ask a country, who is your biggest trading partner? They will not point at a country across oceans. They'll point at countries in their region. Now, when we isolate ourselves from our region, what will happen?
Mama Zuma. I so much love this mama.
It's crazy. So I didn't know actually that this is one of the most traded
because of the Ghanaians are
the most
what? World Cup. I have just learned that the
most traded with the other African countries. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because remember, they're not the black people that own shit that's trade. It's the white people. They know Africa's wealthy, so they're going to be trading with the other they make sure the other Africans can't trade with nobody else, but them as white people. Yeah, we're gonna get money from these goofy niggas, Joby.
Yeah, so we have South Africa as the first one actually. Then we have Cote d'Ivoire, which contributes around 11%, and then Egypt. Of course, Egypt had to follow too because it's not currently controlled by Africans.
By black people, exactly.
Makes sense.
The entire continent of Africa does not like South Africa. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been extremely validating for me to learn this information. I am about to generalize the heck out of this country just from a few experiences. So keep that in mind, but I am just talking about my experience with South African people. Some of the best people, some of the best friends that I have are from Africa, or their parents are from Africa. But hands down, the worst experiences I've had with Africans have been with South Africans. And I remember talking about it with one of my Nigerian friends a long time ago. And I eventually came to the conclusion that South Africans are like the Americans of the African continent. I just find a lot of them to have like main character syndrome. A lot of Black South Africans have definitely internalized like white supremacy. I find them to be extremely competitive. Like the experiences that I've had with South African women, for example, were pretty negative. But when I lived in Europe, my Black friends were overwhelmingly Brazilian, Congolese, Nigerian, Rwandese, here in the States as well. But all my South African experiences were with South Africans who were living someplace in Europe. And yeah, I've rarely or never had bad experiences with women from all those other countries that I just listed off. But literally every single experience I've had with a South African woman was like marred in jealousy or competition or just very unfriendly and not welcoming. Again, I'm not saying that all South African people are like this, right? This is just my personal experience. I also did a video.
Now she's right about South Africans. Not us, though. Not us. They know they're not better than Black Americans. We richer than them. But they think they're better than other Africans because they live in the richest country in Africa. And they do believe, even though they're poor, they believe they're better than other Africans because they say other Africans live in third world shithole. That's what they believe. I'm just telling you. So she's right about that. And so they do feel a certain superiority to other Africans. Somebody said, go back and fix your country. Fix your fucking country.
About South Africa as well, where I was talking about how a lot of South African people like follow American trends. And the comments in that video were really crazy because they literally sounded like how Americans talk. They were like, oh, everybody's obsessed with us. Very much giving main character syndrome for a critique that I found to be like very valid. But yeah,
Zombie's the main character syndrome right here. I know.
Comments from like Africa talking about how they're Mexican, like not supporting this country, even though it's an African country. I feel extremely validated.
Ghanaians are among the last people on the African continent they should be provoking. Let's follow the money, right? South African capital is deeply embedded in Ghana's economy. MTN, of course, right? MTN, the white people, number one telecommunications company.
The white people. Africans don't own that shit. White Africans who live in South Africa.
DSTV MultiChoice is South African, rooted. Even if it operates under, yes, an original French media structure, it's still South African rooted, right? Goldfields, one of the largest mining operations on Ghanaian soil, is South African. So do South Africans really want to mess this up for themselves? I don't think so. The footprint is significant.
Pause it. The Africans don't mind in South Africa. They ain't getting no money from that. That's white people shit. So you hate to tell you, you can't scare the black people living in poverty that you're gonna get rid of white people shit that don't benefit them. And like Joey said, them fake loans that they get African puppets that don't benefit the people. That's for white people's money. See, white people set up a system to make sure they always parasite off of black people. See, you ain't got no other black banks owned by black people all over Africa, but you got banks by white people that call themselves South Africans operating in Nigeria, Uganda, Ghana, Kenya. Those are white people. See, they make sure that the structures fit them, but not your ass. They'll trade within Africa, but make sure your black ass can't because Africa's wealthy. So they'll make the system be for them, not you. They want the system for them, not you. So that's white people shit that own that shit. Go ahead, Joby.
So honestly speaking, I mean, South Africans, you do not want to bite the hand that hosts your investments. Let's just not do that. No. Let's not go there.
No. The problem is that your African leaders, you should have been doing it yourself. Your African leaders are puppet to white people. Why would you have white people mining your gold and take most of the money from your gold? Like Ibn Traore said, almost doing the change, that's Ibn Traore. That's why they're trying to kill him. So you had white people from South Africa come in your country and get all the money from the resource from your coast, from your country. Your question should be, fuck South Africa. What is the hell is John Muhammad and the rest of these puppets been doing? While Ghana stays in abject poverty, it makes white people wealthy in South Africa by mining our gold, which we should have been doing ourselves. And just like Kenya, when Joby showed that video, it's been like 3 or 4 years ago, of that mining company in Kenya, those Those were South Africans that owned that shit, talking to the Africans crazy. Those were South Africans, baby. They own a gold mine in Kenya. The question is, why has Kenya got white people from South Africa mining their gold, taking all the money? Because the system's designed for white people to get rich off of black people.
Yep.
That's the system. This ain't got shit to do with no South African black people. Go ahead, Joby.
Exactly. But as we move on, we also have some news and updates. We get closer to winding up. We have Ghana again, which the government is actually looking for to extend presidential terms from 4 to 5 years. Again, the question is, what have you delivered?
Of course. Everybody wants to just like Ruto wants to go 5 to 7. They want to go 4 to 5. They all want more time because understand. This is how they loot the country with them and their families.
Yep.
Get it? Then they want their families to take over when they die. It's all fake. Go to democracy.
Nothing they have delivered. Exactly, democracy. There's nothing they have delivered. Currently, John Mahama, you just knew. This guy just got elected last year.
Yep. Not ready. So I fuck that. Exactly. He's about, I don't want to leave. I'm looting the country, and I ain't trying to go nowhere. Exactly right, Joe.
Yeah, that's why I'm always conscious and understand right now. Don't be too quick to praise these people because of 1, 2, 3 things they are doing that are positive. It's for the props. It's for the people to believe that now we have a working system or government. But give them time. Their true colors will always come out. You know, you'll see who they really are. John Mahama, we did.
John Mahama is a crook, and been a crook, and a corrupt crook. He's been a crook. That's why he's got the Europeans up in there. Tell me what they're gonna do. Where is Ghana at terrorism? But they already told him we're gonna put terrorism in your country, nigga. So they made a security deal with Europe to sit on the border of Burkina Faso. So he's corrupt. He's always been corrupt. You ain't had no real leader in Ghana since you had that goopy mixed nigga. What's that goopy mixed nigga name who killed all them judges? What's that goopy mixed nigga name? Jerry Rollins. You know, he ain't no real leader since you had that goopy mixed nigga. Jerry Rollins ass.
Okay, so as we move on, let's see actually what they had to say. Let's look at this.
Ghana's government has accepted a proposal to extend the presidential term from 4 to 5 years. This follows a review of the 1992.
Ghana, you want black Americans to move, people to move, they got money, I'm breaking shit. Okay, go ahead, Joe. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're saying Ghana what?
Yeah, so Ghana, you're gonna hurt your golden goose. You got black Americans you want to have move over there, but your infrastructure's fucked up. And you're charging these high prices for rent and for housing of a first world country when your infrastructure is fucked up. It's African. So you're going to kill your own golden goose, morons. No one's going to come and pay first world prices to live in a third world country. Your roads are fucked up. Your infrastructure fucked up. Your drainage system don't work. Shit's fucked up. Fix the infrastructure first, stupid. And then you can charge these rent. You can't charge the same thing. Shit, Singapore's cheaper than Ghana. You got Malaysia cheaper than Ghana. But what they got? First world infrastructure. You don't got that. Shit's crazy. You know? They're just scamming in Ghana. It's absolutely absurd. You don't charge people first world price. You step outside, you fall in a ditch. Go ahead, Joey.
New constitution by a committee set up last year by President John Dramani Mahama. Other recommendations accepted by the government include extending Parliament's tenure to match the new presidential term.
Ain't it funny?
The government says that, given that transitions take time as do elections, the extension will give administrations more time to implement their agenda.
Now Ghana's poured in Kenya. Let's see. What is their yearly GDP in Ghana, Joby? Because it's poured in Kenya. So you're more impoverished than Kenya, but you want to extend Parliament, extend John Mahama's term. You ain't got nobody out of poverty. What are you talking about?
Ghana's nominal yearly GDP is approximately $83.2 billion, with recent estimates from the International Monetary Fund projecting current price figures near $118 billion.
That's project. That's years. I don't know. So it's 83. I think Kenya's like 140 billion or something. What is Kenya's, Joe? It's like 140 billion. Almost twice. Almost.
Yeah, 147. Yeah.
It's almost twice. So you're twice as poor as Kenya. And you want to give? What the fuck you talking about, man? Make it make sense because they want to stay on the government. See, they can't create any economies. They want to stay with the government money and keep ripping out the country that way. So I told you, if you talk about some corruption, Ghana's 10 times more corrupt than Kenya. It make Kenyans blush. Send a Kenyan to Nigeria, and his mind will be fucked up. With that corruption. Go ahead, Joby.
Committee's recommendation to lower the minimum age requirement for presidential candidates from the current 40 to 35 and not 30 as was proposed. Government also agreed to a proposal to hold presidential elections in the first week of November.
You see what Jim Mosquito tried to go back him and his mom. They robbed their ass, Joby. Went to the house, give me that shit. Stick your ass down, your English, your British ass. I'm Ghanaian. Not sounding like that, you ain't. Go ahead.
Gap between the polls and the 7th of January inauguration. The bill covering term limits will have to go through a number of steps before going to a national referendum.
This is crazy. This is so crazy. This is crazy. There is nothing delivered done for the people. If you are Ibrahim Traore, then we can say, more presidential term. Yes, please.
How about that?
Yes, because there are things that are being done. You're seeing there's delivery, no promises, empty words.
Joby, that's AI.
But yes, we have the last conversation. Burkina Faso itself, which as the Burkina Faso media regulator has fined Canal Plus over their free access of state TV. And I'm not really sure what canal. Let me look. I didn't check that. Canal Plus, where it belongs. Canal Plus. Plus. Yeah.
Can I what? A TV station?
Mm-hmm.
That's owned by the cats with the hats.
It's the French. It's a French network. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a French, but the cat with the hat, French people.
Yeah, because I see Canal Plus Media Group is a French TV network, global reach, and content, which is also for content and movies like sports and series. Yep. So Burkina Faso has accused them, has fined them for free access of the state TV. Remember?
You got exactly. You got to get them on because remember they bought up all the media in Africa. They bought up all the media because they're trying to. Media is what? Mind control. So I'm trying to use mind control to keep you Africans poor, and to make sure the money stays with me. White man, the French Jewish man. Get it? So yes, they're on all. You can look that up. Think I'm exaggerating? Look at who do you think bought out in Hollywood? White Jewish Frenchmen.
The same people.
Yeah, right.
Of course, that's why they are promoting so much negative stories about Africa. What do you expect?
Burkina Faso's media regulator has slapped a new and much larger fine on French broadcaster Canal Plus, accusing it of failing to provide free access to state TV channels. It says the satellite service has not complied with an order requiring it to make public stations free. You got
to get them out. Exactly. That's them trying to see if you're going to be the same bootlicking nigga like in Ghana, Kenya. We're going to do what we want to do by warping your people's mind, not putting you on TV in your own country. That's why you got to get them out of there, Ibra. Not find them. Same way you get that, you got to get them out of the country. You got to go. Pack up your shit and go. But we got a thing right here in Bikini. This is our Bikini edition. It ain't no more. Get this shit and get the fuck out of the country. Doesn't exist no more in the country. Go ahead, Joe.
Even after their subscriptions expire. The watchdog imposed a penalty of $350,000 on the French company, 4 times
That ain't
higher
shit.
than the previous fine handed down in June. At the time, it gave Canal Plus 30 days to remove all technical barriers preventing subscribers from accessing unencrypted broadcasts of the state radiodiffusion
And it's funny. Let me ask this. They're in Bikini Faso making sure the people can't see even Traore and real Bikini Faso news. Only can see their propaganda. That's how blatant they are with the disrespect of these white people. We don't want you to see this nigga talking about freeing you. You're going to see our propaganda. We're not going to look in the country. That's how blatant these white people. This is crazy. Go ahead, Jerry.
The military government, in power since the 2022 coup, has suspended most major Western media outlets, including
They kicked them out.
RFI radio and
They kicked them out.
TV channel.
That's right.
And
You kicked out all foreign media.
Correspondents.
As you should, because despite being kicked out, they still spread propagandas and
Exactly, Joe.
about what
Exactly.
is happening in the country. It's crazy. But as we wind up with today's conversation, shout out to Jibajaba again, Joe Mosquito in the building. I'm not attacking your country, Joe Mosquito. I'm just talking facts. Your country is fucked up. Go talk to John Mahama, maybe. Things will be better.
I don't want to attack in the country. I don't think Joby said nothing bad. I don't want to say that. Joby just said, John Muhammad didn't do that. I said this stuff to the mosquito, not Joby.
Joe,
I said you guys out here. I know.
He's just teasing me, but I saw you were saying that you guys will all have some made-up white man in your homes because Europeans told you the history. I know it's crazy. In the bathroom, in the bedroom, everywhere you find is a Jesus image. It's crazy, You don't know rest. You go there like goddamn scarecrow.
All over the place. And you go to the European house, you won't even see a white Jesus nowhere. Nowhere. We go to a black person's house. Just like in America, we always just see, that's my grandmother. They be Jesus everywhere, nigga. Like, God damn, this cracker everywhere.
And also see John Mosquito saying, Joby, do you know what those artifacts formed? Those artifacts formed part of our libraries and education system. I know, stolen, and I put the word stolen, okay? Also put the word they were stolen, Yeah, they were stolen. If you see them there in London, understand they were stolen from here, okay? You guys, you people in London know how to make shit, But I also see, he says, you're right, King, when I was in the church, they said African masks were cast. That is crazy. And Jibajaba says, are you able to tell what a mask represents? No, that's why I said, I have to do so much information I have to do research on that. I really have. I'm interested to learn too. But I've shared, if you go back to the first segment of the show, I've shared a couple and from which country they come from, but I don't know.
Hey, Mosquito, Mosquito, they told you that they're evil in your goopy church while white people have them in the museums making millions of dollars from them. Ain't it funny? They're worth millions of dollars. If they're evil, why the white people got them? Why they ain't break them and throw them in the river? They're in the museum in Germany, in Denmark, in goddamn the Netherlands, in France, in Spain, Portugal, England. Like, why they ain't throwing in Italy? But they're evil. Now the evil making them millions of dollars.
And also see John Mosquito says the mask represents the human head, brain, spine, etc. Okay. And also says, but Joby, you wear makeup. What's the difference? Wow. Are you kidding me? You're trying to say I wear a mask? That's my mask? That's a good one. Oh my goodness. And the people says that that's so crazy. Tiba says that's creepy. A picture of Jesus while you're taking a dump. Those images are I'm telling you, African homes, we have Jesus images everywhere. I'm not even capping. I'm not even trying to exaggerate that. In the sitting room alone, if you go to an African home who is a goofy religious indoctrinated type, it's in the sitting room, like 3 of them, each corner, this corner, that corner, and that corner. Jesus. No anything to do with art, no nothing. Nothing even to do with, not even a picture of themselves. Today, Africans don't even put pictures of themselves the same way we had, you put in pictures of families, kids, husband and wife. No, it's Jesus who's presenting the house, that is the one who's presenting the house. And Jones Muscle says, bingo, Joby, you're real smart. Nollywood always use African artifacts and so-called witch doctors to destroy African spirituality. Yep. And says in African movies as well, Hollywood movies, Jesus always saves the day from the voodoo. It's crazy. It's those movies, man. Oh my God. We invested me and my stepmom, I'm not gonna lie, we used to invest our time on that shit. Oh my God. Like at 10 a.m., especially on the weekends, like tomorrow, 10 a.m. By 10 a.m., it's Afro Cinema continues shortly. And then on Saturdays, it used to be actually weekdays, and from weekdays, Monday to Saturday, it's from 10, I think, to 11 or 12 because of news. And then from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. because of news too. 1 hour, or 1 hour, 2 hours. We invested our time in that shit like crazy. It's so crazy, man. But some were fun. Some were just like, if you know a character like Mama G, Drum Mosquito, I do believe you kind of know Mama G. Mama G was an OG, like for real in those movies, because she always played the wicked character, the wicked woman, the bad stepmother, the bad wife. We just loved Mama G. And she also put out an image. I feel like for Mama G, she put out an image of understanding stepmoms. Not all of them are good, and also a wicked mother-in-law. She was always a wicked mother-in-law. It's crazy. And Jiba Jiba says, I'll post a pic of mine. Maybe you can all discipline it. Kindly emphasize more. I didn't get that. And says the scarier the mask, the more the powerful and complex the knowledge is. I do agree. And the drama says they bleach them from babies too. Yep, there's been videos of that I've shared a couple of times. They're bleaching babies too. Jiba says Nollywood movie plots are always as centers around Nyash. A lot of stuff, not just Nyash, I'm telling you. South Africans pretty much shot themselves in their foot. That is Joe Mosquito. And Jiba says maybe Tyler will play the Siwa City in Nigeria. Wow. Instead of water. That's crazy and a good one. And Joe Mosquito says it was Brother Kid that introduced me to this Tyler last year. I didn't even know who she is. I only know one song from her. That's what's up. She has an album out. I've not listened to it personally. Cupcake Ramaphosa is out of his damn mind. Big time, always. No reparations after apartheid. I know, it's crazy. And Jamusi says it was traumatizing seeing apartheid in South Africa as a kid. I can't even begin to imagine how much worse it would have been in America. And says we were raised up ignorant and cowardly, unfortunately. And we have to build ourselves. We have to build our self-confidence. I agree. Joby, the lady has motor mouth like you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I also see you can go all day without touching. Oh, is it me you're talking about? Yeah, me. I gotta fix my hair. I gotta fix my hair. Joby, I see you're hell bent on embarrassing our country. No, just facts, literally. But yes, have yourselves a beautiful morning, family. That has been my time, this particular time, or this morning. We're gonna be coming back in a few with the Rhythm Scoop Show. So ensure you tune in and see what we're gonna be discussing about. But with that being said, have yourselves a beautiful rest part of your morning. Enjoy your breakfast or whatever you're doing. If you're on your black job, wishing you a beautiful day. And wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead in case you're not going to be able to catch up with us maybe until later on the Africa Today show or maybe on Monday. I don't know. But yes, that has been my time and my conversation for today. Peace, and I'm out. I'm going to leave with this song here. I love this jam here of that lady that I started with because, hey, don't allow men to kill your careers. Please focus. Even if you're in a relationship, please focus in your career.